3 losses in a row now for the Knicks. And 11 of their last 17 have been losses. After winning 5 of their first 6 games of the season. In hindsight, it was a mistake to get rid of Reggie Bullock. The guy couldn't shoot worth beans all that often, but he was a defensive juggernaut. Why get rid of him for Evan Fournier? 3 years and $72.5 million. That was a dumbass move. If the guy is more offense-oriented than defense-oriented. Throw in the fact Randall and Barrett have regressed. The team is playing more like a collection of distributed parts that don't function together anymore properly, instead of a unit that works for the benefit of the whole. And to top it all off, as I mentioned in my last video, fucking Tin Man Thibodeau. Once again, his metal-minded tunnel vision screws over the Knicks. This guy has got to learn to mimic the moves of his opponents. When they bring in the bench, you bring in the bench. When the starters need to come back on from their side, you bring in your starters back in instead of leaving one side or the other to rot on the bench. Now, to be fair, you were playing Nikola Jokic, the fucking clown prince of crime of the NBA, today, and he basically once again decimated you down low. But again, Tom, Tibby, Tin Man, why the hell have you been such a stubborn-ass pig with this team lately? Why are you so damn tunnel vision? Why are you so stubborn to not give Grimes, Sims, and when he decides to come back up in the G League, McBride, more than 6 minutes of fucking playtime? It's baffling that you keep sticking to a stagnant lineup. Benching Kemba, this has been hit or miss. Yeah, he's slow, but you're only paying him $16 million for a 2-year contract. You're going to get rid of him by the end of 2022, 2023 anyway. The way he's been playing, he doesn't deserve a contract extension. I will admit that. But I think Randall let his contract extension go to his head. But this is ridiculous from you, Thibodeau. You're smarter than this. Why is it you have been such a metal-minded moron? And by metal, I mean M-E-T-T-L-E, not M-E-T-A-L. So hyper-focused you've become in what lineups you use, that's led to tunnel vision. You're too committed to this lineup. And it's making me sick. Learn to fucking adapt to what's being thrown at you, Tibbs. First thing you do, swap out, get rid of Fournier, and get Bullock back. That would help to some level on the defensive end. That guy was a fucking bulldog on the defensive end of the court. And you got rid of him because you want offensive productivity. This is what bit the Knicks in the ass when Jackson was the executive of the New York Knicks. Tibbs, what you're doing right now is basically ruining what Leon Rose had set up last year. Instead of going with the slow game approach, you got a couple. Dolan, once again, stuck his nose where it didn't need to be and got a couple of pieces that don't fit as a means to once again get rich quick. This is getting annoying with this squad. Think about it, folks. I want to turn the clock back to 2003. The Knicks were finishing a horrible 30-52 campaign in 2001-2002. They bring in Isaiah Thomas as their executive manager, president of basketball operations. And what's he do? Turn a team of guys that need to get back into contention for almost a decade into a decade-long get-rich-quick Ponzi scheme of old dogs who are well past their prime. Don't believe me? Look at the list of guys. eyes he acquired when he showed up in 2003. Was saddled with the Antonio McDyess contract, drafted Michael Sweetney when he could have gotten someone better. Keith Van Horn, Michael Doliak, Penny Hardaway, Sidney Trubinsky, twice getting Tim Thomas, twice getting Nate Robinson, Jalen Rose, Antonio Davis, Stephon Marbury, and I'm not going in any specific order for those wondering. Malik Rose, Nazir Muhammad, Dikembe Mutombo. The Muhammad trade I didn't really mind. Dijon Thompson, Frank Williams, Moochie Norris, Kelvin Cato, Katino Mobley, Steve Francis, which made no sense. Drafted Trevor Ariza and Channing Frye, let them go. Oh, eventually. Eddie fucking Curry. Drafted David Lee, which I actually like David. Wilson Chandler, Danilo Gallinari that he drafted. Chris Duhon, Jamal Crawford, Zach Randolph, Jonathan Bender, Al Harrington, Fred Jones, Jordan Hill he drafted, bust, and Tracy fucking McGrady. Many of these players I mentioned were well past their primes or complete busts when the Knicks got them. Because Thomas was too busy trying to build the team for short-term success and getting rich quick, as opposed to going the long game and using cap space, because he didn't believe in cap space. And then, of course, do I need to go over the slew of bums Phil Jackson brought in when he arrived in 2014? Stephen A. Smith has done a video where he's gone over that list. But let me reiterate. Jose Calderon, Sam Dalembert, Wayne Ellington, Shane Larkin, all part of the stupid-ass J.R. Smith, Isaiah Shumpert swap. 2 second-round draft picks for Tyson Chandler. Drafted Clancy early. I didn't mind that. Quincy Acey, Travis Outlaw, Lou Almondson, Alex Girk, Lance Thomas, who actually stuck around longer than I would have expected him to. Langston Galloway, who he traded away. That was a decent pickup that Galloway got rid of way too soon. Waived Amari Stoudemire, drafted Kristaps Porzingis. Jerry Grant, 10-day contract, Jimmy Frederick. Willie Hernan Gomez, I actually liked that one. That was a good acquisition. Derrick Rose, the first go-round. Joakim Noah, 4-year, $72.5 million deal. Courtney Lee, 4-year, $48 million deal. Ron Baker, Mendigas, or whatever his name was, whatever the name of number 91 was, traded Rose away for Brandon Jennings. And, of course, his first move as executive of the New York Knicks, signing Lamar Odom, who was on crack! It's not like the team has done any better, or with their free agency pickups, ups and draft. And I forgot drafting Frank Ntilikina. That was a bust. Not that Frank's doing any better in Dallas, but you get the point. Then, of course, there was 2018-2019, the disaster year. Trading away Kyle Quinn. Then there was Doug McDermott they picked up. Didn't pan out. Trading Willie for Johnny O'Bryant, which I was infuriated about. Now, this was after Phil left. Then getting DeAndre Jordan, Dennis Smith Jr., Wesley Matthews Jr., which didn't make a lot of sense. And DeAndre didn't even get to play all that much when he was in New York. Mario Hezonja, Bobby Portis, Markieff Morris. Taj and Randall have somewhat worked out. Drafted R.J. Barrett. Drafting Kevin Knox was a bust. Toppin has worked out fairly well, as his IQ. Regaining Derrick Rose for Dennis Smith Jr. I didn't mind that swap. Shipping out Austin Rivers, getting Alec Burks, Alfred Payton, Reggie Bullock. I did not want to get rid of Bullock for his defensive prowess. Getting rid of Payton would have been good enough on its own. Keep Bullock, get rid of Payton, but no, they got rid of both. That pissed me off. And that more or less got me a little mad in hindsight. My point is Thibodeau's stubbornness and inability to adapt now has the Knicks under 500 for the first time in over a season. They need to wake the hell up, start playing like a team again instead of a bunch of disparate parts that don't function properly. And Thibodeau needs to get his head out of his ass and adapt more frequently and swap the lines that change it up more frequently. The number of subs he does is paper thin at best, non existent at worst. He leaves them on the court to gas out, and it backfires on him almost every damn time. So, Thibodeau, you're on the clock this year. Either stop being the metal minded, tunnel vision tin man that you are, or things are going to get worse. Smash the like, leave a comment, sub to the channel. Mets2128 signing out yet again. Pissed as hell as the Knicks have been falling off because Thibodeau is being a stubborn, pig-headed jackass who won't adapt. Goodbye. Good night. Bang.